potentially. Moving to set 3 on Dragon Shire. It's a map that's all about the power of Nazeebo. We'll definitely see him involved in this draft. Didn't get the spike they wanted with lockdown on Sky Temple. Tried to delay the game.
Barely at the end, but they already lost the entire team fight by that time.
Yeah. So Nazeebo is almost a must pick on this map. It's a much better map for the Nazeebo than the last one. Still no Genji today. He's been permabanned. RIP.
Maybe this time. As Falstad and 0-2 will be highly picked. The first banning pick phase.
Zeratul removed.
That gives a lot more power to Falstad. Tempest is looking for that Falstad pickup. Miracle today banned Genji like they used to all day long today.
I think now that everyone's gotten more used to him, he's just kind of perma-banned. I think that Miracle will have to ban him. You don't want to give that X factor to Tempest. They haven't really shown that much Genji yet. Only the weird games that we saw last week that I don't really want to talk about, but you know, is his moment where it's like, well, I don't know how good Tempest is on Genji, but he's just really good as a hero right now, so probably have to remove. And even if you get Falstad over, Tempest can't stop you from getting your Dahaka, so I think you just ban the Genji no matter what here. You let them have the Falstad, you take the Dahaka. Problem solved. You can grab that with the
with Nazeebo,
Nazeebo, or even the Malfurion is like totally fine. So,
but I think if you pair that up, as I said before, I think Falstad Dahaka combo is what strengthens the entire team comp of any that goes into any team comp too. There's a Falstad as we talked about.
So, is it going to be the Malfurion? Going to be the Nazeebo? That's the big question. Could be both, but then you leave the Dahaka out. And Tempest will just ban it. A lot of discussion coming out from Crazy Moving specifically, which leads me to believe it's the Nazeebo they're really considering. Scaling is just so good in the late game. This map doesn't end early. I wonder what the shortest game of Dragon Shire is in our tournament. It's probably pretty long. Like it's probably at least like 12 minutes or something like that.
It is not in our shortest game time at all. Within the top 5 of the shortest, so. But actually, 2 of the longest. We had 33 and 45 seconds game on Dragon Shire. Tempest versus L5. That was a long game. I believe went to level 27 or something.
Yeah, the second longest game was Miracle versus Mighty at 27-26. It's going to be the Dahaka Nazeebo, not going to be the Malfurion. So they're going to leave Malfurion up to Tempest. You know what? I think Tempest could just ban the Stitches here if they're not going to take the Malfurion. I think it's a good idea to take Malfurion here. He's just the best hero in terms of CC right now. They may even bait Miracle into taking the Stitches without it because that's what they did in game 1. So they pick up the Malfurion and...
Maybe this time not... Again, I was actually thinking maybe pick up a DPS before the ban fades, so when the picks comes around for them, they can have more chance of picking the DPS they wanted.
For Miracle, it's a tough ban here because everything is really available. Might even want to ban the ETC. If they're not planning on running it themselves, and then just kind of let it go with that. Greymane is something you could consider banning here too, with the Tyrael in play. But they're going to ban the Stitches. I don't think Tempest was planning on running it. So that's... you can see the power of it, right? We saw it in the previous set with the Malfurion together, but...
This will be a Tychus pickup for sure for Miracle. As Tychus is a very good DPS, and Sergeant Hammer is already banned. You don't want to choke yourself into the last pick, as Tempest will very likely to pick the Tychus. And also Tychus is a tank buster, plus that Dragon Knight HP is gone pretty quickly with that minigun.
And we're going to take him with Muradin. Probably the quick lock in there. Took them a minute, and then they promptly decided.
Now lots of auto attack is gone, but Tempest, if they wanted to go all the way in Tempest, as we saw, there's some crazy camera action there.
Whoa, yeah.
Not even focused. Greymane seems to be the old Tempest way. Tyrael Falstad, Grey Main.
Yeah, I mean,
with a solid.
Sonya is also another option, you
That's
know?
right.
And we saw it earlier today. I'm just really sold on it from that alone. There's the Li Ming. I don't think they're going to go down Sonya. They may look to do it, but
Now
unlikely.
this one's either Sign or Modern Life.
Yeah. Could
pick. Maybe
be
like someone like Variant to lock down Nazeebo actually.
Could be a variant for sure. And also ETC is available. I think that's what they're considering. The ETC pick, super strong if they can get that amazing mosh with the Sanctification. And that's what it's going to be. You know, I've seen all sorts of crazy earrings, but horn rings, that's something new.
That's ETC for you.
There you go, man. Put the earring right in the horn. So, Miracle now with the last choice of support. Karzim can help punish an overextending ETC or Tyrael. They don't have that much CC. It's going to really have to be Dahaka getting the grab to make that valuable.
Uther has the burst damage, which can kind of heal back up when you have the burst damage coming in from Li Ming and Falstad. Also, that Divine Shield on Nazeebo will save Nazeebo for a very good protection.
Palm could be good for Nazeebo too, because he's your main source of damage and he's going to do so well in the late game. I think it's going to be Karzim just simply because of his mobility. That's something that people always think of supports in terms of like their kits and their, their how much healing they could put and what their heroic is going to be in the fight. But it's actually going to be Lucio. The first time we see him today, he's going to give faster rotations. Not going to give the safety or the extra burst potential that Karzim can give. Not as mobile as Karzim in terms of in the middle of a team fight being able to escape. And against the ETC Malfurion, the lack of a cleanse is going to be a little bit concerning when those roots start coming down. But going to see it come out nonetheless. The level of play from Malfurions today has been the dominant factor in these best of fives. First and now the second. Winner of this map, Shire, will take match point as we go into game number 3. Let's jump into it. In blue, MVP Miracle, Honkaro on Muradin, Dami on Dahaka, Sniper on Tygus, Crazy Moving on Nazeebo, and Darvish on Lucio.
And in red, Tempest, hide on Malfurion, Doc on Li Ming, Lockdown on Falstad, Sign on ETC, and Modern Life on Tyrael.
Wall ride coming out here at level 1 for Darvish. So pulling a hide here against Tide. Immediate drag onto side. Huge orb damage coming out. The burrow goes down. Sniper! Not enough healing to save him there. Lucio's healing his tick on his amp it up, just not quite quick enough.
Sign got caught, but of course with the armor, with his Rockstar trade now, he has more tanking ability. And he also got pretty good power slide onto the side of 2 targets, so limiting their damage, and Tempest turned that around pretty quickly. Great start for Tempest for sure. Also going for Power Hungry on Li Ming seems to be just the talent to pick for level 1 now.
Yeah, definitely seems that way. Ooh, the Aldruins dodged the grenade.
That takes skill now.
Takes skill, man. Press IQ at the right time.
Yes.
Ooh, this was risky.
Going way in. Takes 2 ammo out. Will be significant later on maybe. Try to punish Crazy Moving for coming out for.
Good movement there. No pun intended against the root. Calling her to avoid it. Probably would have been fine no matter what, but always targeting down the Nazeebo player, bullying him in lane, and also looking for the ganks is the best way to stagger him in terms of what he can accomplish to get his scaling up, pick him off early, prevent him from getting his quest, his Widowmaker quest. It's the way, so I like this idea to be hyper-aggressive.
Very balanced team comp from Tempest. It's a very old-style Tempest team comp too with ETC. There has been changes to ETC, but still with the Sanctification and Mosh Pit, they will really want to burst down on one target so that Dr. would get that power spike of critical mass. But if that does not happen though, Miracle will have more burst damage with Tychus just chunking down with the minigun, and auto attacks are real.
Yeah, Dog gets a tower here too. This is a really nice way to siege as well. What Tempest is doing is just really bullying this bot lane because it's Tychus versus Tyrael in this secondary solo lane in mid. Because of all the pressure that Tempest is putting on, it's even tough for Tychus to rotate down because Tyrael is such a good solo laner, even against the Tychus. So they're able to force this and get that tower. And it feels like Miracle's now committed the proper amount of resources to deal with this, but it was too late to save their tower. And now we're actually going to potentially lose this temple. It's held now by Tempest. Sign goes in. There's the follow-up route. Honkono going to try to get out of here. Looks like he actually ended up getting rooted by that. Just barely not.
If that face melt was a 0.1 second before, right at the moment he dwarf tosses, I think that could have been a kill onto Honkono.
Well, Cannon Tower's now out of ammo as this lane is totally pushed. We didn't get the kill, but they certainly got the objective, which was to knock these Cannon Towers out. Crazy moving once again caught. No escape. The route here to help zone. His movement, though, by the way, is out of control. Like, he actually avoids everything. Gets out, starts adding a bunch of damage in. Stormbolt going off onto Duck here, and he's actually going to be the one to potentially go down. He gets the teleport. Honkono dives in. What a great exchange the mechanical skill of these two teams showcased there in that last fight.
And Sign could have power slided in, but that would actually be close to a trade, as Sniper was also looking for the kill there.
1-1. This game couldn't be closer. Now that the lane control's been given back to MVP Miracle, they're going to have the ability to push down the Cannon Towers at Tempest. Counterwise, Lockdown is up here pushing this lane. Back and forth action. We actually see the, Q quest coming out for Lucio, nothing too out of the ordinary. Normal material build, the normal ETC.
Lucio's also pretty good against the power slides coming in from ETC. There's a stun follow-up with burst damage, but Honkono is on Muradin. Can be a little bit more safer.
Like that relentless soldier coming out for Tychus now. Super critical actually against all these roots. Stuns. Ooh, that was a missed power slide. Yeah, definitely eat some damage for that. The roots of the Malfurions today are incredible. Lockdown gets a fly in, they get the target here. Boom! Down goes Nazebo. Crazy moving with some good control, but when the aim is that good against you, it's going to be hard. Duck gets picked off counterwise though. Hyde trying to do what he can. Dami avoids, and Honkono both avoid that Stormbolt. Channeling now for Miracle. Modern Life's already here to deny this in mid.
Matt, this game is about even as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
2-2 kills and trading shrines right now, and no Dragon Knight yet. With all those fights, Widowmaker is already finished.
It's actually really awesome for him to have it finished this early. Ballset's going to need to go top so he doesn't lose too much more of this EXP. Heading up there now. So this game is very neutral. We actually saw Miracle attempt to take the neutral camp to the bot. They actually decided to rotate in to look for a Dragon Knight Unleash instead. This is really scary right now because I believe Li Ming is almost out of mana. Does have Power Hungry. Oh, no, okay, she's full. I don't know who I saw there that was almost out of mana, but somebody is. Anyways, does get the stops the channel. Modern Life still in the mid lane, continuing to poke and make sure that Sniper can't grab onto that Dragon Knight. In the top lane, extra soak coming in, but it's still denied by Dahaka. It's going to be 10 at like the exact same time for these two teams, pretty much.
The only problem that Miracle is having, this pressure onto the bot. They already lost the first wall, and these Giants are on. They're going all the way in. 10 is hit for both teams. Sound barrier.
So Mosh Pit coming out. Once again, with the false stat as the goal, but you don't need that stage dive, and you want to, excuse me, pair this with the Tyrael. That's the whole idea of the ETC pick anyways, besides the early game pressure. Lockdown actually held this for quite some time, but we'll now have to tap. It's just such an incredibly close game. Like, basically Tempest is controlling the bot lane, then swapping up to mid. Miracle takes every opportunity to punish false stat in the top lane whenever that mid or bot push continues though. So they're actually staying pretty even in terms of EXP. They lost these structures, but they're not too far behind. This is a nice opportunity, though. Crazy Wing gets hit by that orb. Huge hit there. He does just barely survive the disintegrate damage. Here comes a nice silence, though. Sound barrier, though, better timed.
Sign get very low. There is a sanctification for the defense, but Modern Life already used that on Druid. Has some shields available and even root for defensive use from Hyde.
Dragon Knight does get taken here by Tempest, though, throughout this time window. Actually going to look to push the top lane. This is going to relieve a lot of pressure, so they can actually continue to push the bot fort potentially. Looks like they want the easier free EXP here in mid on this cannon tower. Kind of rotating between both. Dragon Knight's just going to look for EXP top, because that's never going to be the lane that you finish the game on. But they need to snowball this. Remember, Nazeebo's scaling is going to work against them.
That's right. This looks like this Resident Sleeper laning is almost over now with the Dragon Knight released. And this bottom push is real. Duck has been pushing this fort. Now, I believe Force is pretty healthy till now, but once they have all the pokes available, even Modern Life coming in with the push of the Dragon Knight on the middle lane.
Root! And it does survive there. That extra armor. And this push continues. Darvish eats a huge orb to the face. Progrock's done, so that's going to be really helpful in terms of sustaining these fights. Dragon Knight did a decent amount of damage, got Tempest a little bit ahead in EXP, but I just feel like that's not enough. You know, dealing with the late game tanky, very powerful viral infection, Nazeebo is going to be something that they deal with now. I feel like no matter what, that was their huge opportunity to get massively ahead, and just because Miracle dealt with the situation so well, Tempest didn't gain a massive lead, and I think that that's what they need. Okay, Honkono, once again, actually very aggressively positioned, but does not get interrupted with his Dwarf Toss. It's going to be totally fine.
Lockdown and Dami just chilling in the bush here. Drag will actually miss. Both of them dropped at the same time. Messing on the T. I love it. That 2.0 Heroes action.
All right, well, this is a really passive game. Both of these teams do not want to get knocked out, obviously.
But this is exactly what Miracle wants to be. Like, they want to have this late game. Yeah. They know Tempest can't really go dive in because they don't have anyone like Sonya or Greymane to actually dive in along with that Tyrael.
It just feels like Tempest is not going for the, like, putting the pedal to the metal when it matters. That's how you do it. There's the pick on the Nazeebo. Finally, that works out for them.
Exactly the pick they wanted.
Finally. Lockdown actually flies in for good measure here, but not going to be able to find anything more than this. But they have the Siege Giant push, so that's actually going to be something that they can use to try to grab this fort. Getting an early keep, remember that's the key against Nazeebo play. Much easier on Sky Temple, that's why Tempest struggled on map 2. On Dragon Shire, it's a lot tougher. Get that early keep. Actually get this fort with the Siege Giant pressure though, and Miracle's just going to have to let this go. Already the fly back up for Lockdown to contest this in the top lane.
Lockdown will soak the rest of the EXP on top, and also Nazeebo is back into fight, so they're not going to control both shrines for the extra Dragon Knight. But if Crazy Moving oversteps just like that again, Sign will come power slide in and he will get punished for it.
It's going to be the idea. Crazy Moving is just trying to get as many stacks as possible. It's the ping that Modern Life was going to try to look for the backdoor sanctification so everyone can engage into it. It'd be amazing for Li Ming potentially, but does think better of it, moves back mid. Tempest is kind of out soaking right now. His Lockdown is up here on the top lane, going to grab this. Modern Life wanted the channel, but they can't hold this in the bot. So just going to sit there and soak. Actually going to look to potentially, I was just watching the map, potentially they almost rotate up to try to threaten Dami. That's why Lockdown's trading here. Okay, this is what they want. This is a bait, super bait here. Lockdown actually gets away. Burrow's used. The rotation comes up for Miracle, though, and they have to leave. The bait seemed pretty obvious there, but still a good idea nonetheless, as this game has been hyper passive. As you said just a moment ago, though, that's favor to Miracle in this passive game. 16 about to be reached, just slightly faster for Tempest because they've been soaking a little bit more overall.
These are the rotations, and exactly why this battleground goes on for such a long time, and the reason why Nazeebo is so highly prioritized during the draft phase And this is going to be an overextension. Signs coming in from the side. He has that mosh pit available. Lucio seems to be target on right now.
Okay, here's the big gust from Lockdown here. There's the kill on the sniper. Can they get more? This is what they want. This is what they're looking for. Spider damage now completely negligible as its spiders fade away. Dami's looking for the retreat. Pings go down. No one to save Dami this time. He pinged for help, but there's no way out of this one. With Brush Shock probably about to come up, but it won't matter. It's taken out, so it's a triple. Dash Quest finishing much faster this game for Tychus. This is going to be an attempted channel. Honkono comes over to squat this, but that's actually going to buy a lot of time for these respawners. I actually really like this. Modern Life absolutely should leave. This is going to give an opportunity for Tempest to push down this mid fort, though. When you're down members like this, you can't be everywhere at once. That's why this map is so rotation-based. So even though they don't get the Dragon Knight, they get the small victory here, which is the fort.
Ooh, Seasoned Marksman already completed before minute 13. And a lot of damage gone. Honkono comes around from the side. Focus Fire is on high at the moment. Gust to disengage. Twilight Gem actually misses entirely, and Malfurion is already gone.
Yeah, that was definitely some desyncing of the communication there. They didn't want to use both like that. Silence them, but push them away, and then Malfurion was left alone, so he dies. And a good situation for Tempest now turned sour. A long death timer there from Malfurion. Let's see how Miracle decides to rotate here. Looks like they're just going to stay in mid. Can actually give the channel in the top lane to Modern Life. Of course, in the bot, they're going to lose that. As the mid lane is pushing. They actually, if they could control top, they would have had a channel. They're going to rotate up now. Lockdown super passively positioned. There was a bush attempt in mid. Actually, Honkono is going in over here. The bush attempt was there, but now they're going to commit to the top lane as Honkono gets super low. Actually kites his way around here. Crazy Moon can add some extra damage. The top fight, though, is way more important.
Falstad is over, and this is a 3v1 situation, 3v2 situation, and it's 1 now. Falstad is already gone. This 2v2 is going on forever. There's the mosh pit, but DuckDuck does not have the damage to get a kill yet.
Guide comes in, though. He finally respawns. DuckDuck's got the spiders on him. It's going to be a 1-for-1. But already, because Falstad died in the top lane, this is actually an Unleash attempt. Modern Life is going to die to deny it. Doesn't even get the Aldruins off because he wants to kill Dami. He knew he was going to die regardless, but Burrow is going to neglect that. Or, sorry, negate that. That's like the second time I made that mistake. I lost my English. I've been living in Korea too long. So, I really wish we saw what happened in the top lane because that was way significantly more important than what was down bot. But anyways, they lost Falstad and allowed that rotation down, which led to several kills. And this is just leading to the exact game that Miracle wants. The exact game. None of their keep walls are even touched as we get closer and closer to 20. I mean, Seasoned Marksman was gotten early, and the stacking that's coming up for Lockdown is going to scale very well late game too. He has Giant Killer, and that's going to help against even Nazebo in terms of damage, but it's not going to be as significant as what the Spiders can do.
Look at the positioning of Honkono, trying to lock that from the... So that... And Sign comes around from the side, actually cancels on that channeling. Well done there.
Okay,
even uses Gust.
Yeah.
All the way, almost the way. Sign gets very low. He does not have the mosh pit to turn around, but Sanctification is back in 2 seconds.
Sorry, there's no cleanse on that, Gust. My bad. Honkono's going to go for the channel. Will Modern Life be able to interrupt? Nope.
They have the poke, and Modern Life steps in one more time.
Okay, does get pushed away. They're going to try to get picks before they actually commit. Ooh, Sanctification used super early here. Tempest can't capitalize on this. No mosh pit for 15 more seconds. Sound barrier goes up. I don't think this is the fight that Tempest wants to take. They're going to lose this fight, and they lose the Dragon Knight. Hyde super low. The kick attempt here. Gate blocks it for just a moment. A Miracle is just around the corner for 20 now. With this Dragon Knight at 16 minutes plus, they're going to threaten this fort and the keep wall. Kicks Modern Life away. Sign does have that mosh now, finally. Just having the opportunities to use it, though. Honkono drops down the Avatar on his self-heal. So Modern Life is looking for a flank over here. Lockdown finally gusts. It's that again. A lot of extra damage coming off with the Seasoned Marksman, but it's not enough. They're trying to buy time for this Dragon Knight. They're trying to delay this. But even still, it's done so much damage already.
Hyde comes around from the side. One big mosh pit can change everything around. Crazy Moving is forcing himself into pretty dangerous positioning as Dami is still in that Dragon Knight. Maybe Sign tries to come in from the side, turn things around, but not yet. Disintegrate to try to chunk down damage onto Kono. Dami looks for a kill onto Doctor, but there's not enough damage.
Okay, this actually looks really good for Tempest now. Dragon Knight pushes over. 20's there. I want to see, does he have it already? He must.
Crazy Moving died a few times but it's already finished.
Okay, so this is the beginning of the nightmare game for Tempest. What they're going to have to do is consistently pick, I feel, in order to win this game. We're going to have to win every fight, which is going to be so difficult to do with Ice Block for Gazebo to protect him. It's going to do so much damage on the team fights. But if they can use Epic Mount to outmaneuver Miracle, get some picks, get smaller and smaller objectives, use an Epic Mount to consistently get the Dragon Knight, that's how they're going to win this game. But in terms of team fighting, if one fight goes long and Crazy Moving is given the space to do that extra spider damage, do that Vile Infection damage, I mean, if you don't take my word for it, just wait a minute and see how those fights go. Tempest is going to have disastrous team fights if they cannot get those picks or if they cannot avoid and out-rotate Miracle.
That's exactly what Miracle is looking for. Tempest, knowing that, has to zone out, and that root upgrade at 16 while Malfurion is going to help when you try to zone out the back line of Lucio, Tigris, and Nazebo. Because if Nazebo gets close to you, every single auto attack will do tons of damage, and those poison will get you down soon.
Yeah, but with the level 20 upgrade to amp it up for Lucio, he's also going to have basically a giant cleanse. So he has the power spike at 16 for more heals. And even if you have a larger root, if he just cleanses it every time, that's going to be so frustrating. It's going to be so annoying. It was good for them pre-20, but now kind of an issue. Big hearts here. Everyone's going home. Getting ready for this Dragon Knight. Already, Falstad's in position. He wants to take this and then fly in with a big cap. Tempest is going to have a nice opportunity here. Already, though, Miracle sees this, invades, to deny them even position to go to the bot position. The bot shrine, I should say.
Epic Mount is here. That's the power of Falstad. On this map especially, he's going to control all the shrine and even go on that Dragon Knight by himself with that Epic Mount. Fly over with a pretty short cooldown onto the fly.
The sign goes in. Spider damage already showing itself here. So you see a lot of damage going on to Duck Duck. Okay, the Gust comes in for the disengage. This is a big win for Miracle. 55 seconds, so that's up. A longer cooldown even for the Hardened Shield. Miracle wants to channel. Can Tempest actually deny this? They have a few tools. Hyde is super aggressive. He wants to get that Moonfire. If he does get it, a Dragon Knight here will definitely mean a keep for MVP Miracle. They need to try to deny this. Missiles are blocked here by Sniper and Darvish. There's the Dragon Knight. 20 minutes into the game, 4 minutes more scaling than last time they had it. They're going to march down bot, trying to make this as cost efficient as possible. Want to make sure they have as many hits, because every auto attack is important. You don't want to just walk up and hit it, because you're going to lose a Dragon Knight before it expires. They want to actually make this Dragon Knight, with the full 70 seconds left it has, get every single auto attack possible on these structures.
That's exactly what Dami wants to do.
Look at this damage.
But it's this is a situation where Tempest can turn around with the big mosh. So Miracle is also being a little bit careful. Honkono was hidden onto the side. Also crazy moving, positioning himself in the back line for the safety.
Sign has Bolt. He could look for a power play. He's not going to be able to save this key, that's for sure. Does get kicked away too. Miracle's not messing around with that. Keep goes down. It looks like that's all they're going to get. Still 30 seconds left, so maybe want to hit 1 or 2 times before this gets knocked out. Even that's risky. Even though it's the Hawkeye, he doesn't have mobility for his escape. Gets another one off. One auto would actually take this out, but he does get the kick and will back off now. Sign not in position to get the power slide off, not in position to try to make that mosh happen. And this is going to be, already this game is better for scaling for MVP Miracle. Now they have the keep. Worst case scenario for them, if they lose this game, we're talking 25 plus minutes probably. And Nazebo's going to be even stronger than even tankier. The one thing that scales well for Tempest, as we talked about before, is going to be the auto attack damage for Falstad. So these 2 DPSs, as this game goes longer and longer and longer, are going to be so important.
That's right, and by now Nazebo As you can see, Crazy Moving stacking up and Vital Infection getting more HP every single time. Not too tanky yet, but by the time we hit about 26, 27 mark, he's gonna be a third tank. Actually, maybe the one with the most HP available on himself. And Lockdown, of course, with the Epic Mount. No shrines are formed yet. We'll try to out-rotate theirs. Here comes a big invasion. Looks like they're not gonna fully commit because they are pushing top with the camp already. This is as passive it gets.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically just like, I want to go to Sweden, I want to make it through these playoffs, and I'm ahead, and I'm going to get further ahead as well. Miracle looks at it, and Tempest is just like, well, I'm not going to take a huge risk and try to bolt Mosh, because if I fail, I lose the game. So they do have the Epic Mount, so Lockdown's going to be able to clear this pretty easily. But the scary part now is the next Temple phase I started, or the Shrine phase. So the Dragon Knight will spawn in 15, or rather the ability to control it will start in 15 seconds.
Of course, you know the feeling right before the end of the game. If you make a small mistake and you know you lost the game because of your small mistake at the very end, that's the terrible feeling you don't want to get. So, of course, being super passive and making sure you're surviving with the team all the time, just in case you make the mistake, you have that extra protection from your teammates.
So Lockdown is just sitting here clearing these caps. He's trying to just stack more and more and more and more. Obviously not going to come from these mercs, but from every catapult he kills to relieve that heat pressure. Going to be getting stronger and stronger for it. Here's the isolation actually onto Onkono. He's rooted with that huge root.
Ooh, Gus comes around from the side, and San is looking for that Mosh angle. Crazy Moving doing so much damage.
Oh, the DPS fight here. Crazy Moving gets onto Lockdown.
That's a good trade. Mosh Pit misses onto Crazy Moving. That was what he was looking for this entire time.
Look at how much damage Crazy Moving does here. You know, they did get Darvish removing the healing, but he's so tanky. He doesn't care. He does so much damage. Now it's going to be a double for Miracle. This pressure now towards the core will have to be cleaned, which is going to give up the room for the Dragon Knight. So
we'll be straight to core. Of course, without Lucio, it's going to be less sustained. But with this 24-minute Dragon Knight, I think they have what it takes to go all the way to the core.
I mean, Crazy Moving's damage on the core itself is going to be super strong. It's getting tankier and tankier by the second with every minion that's left to kill. Doesn't want to get stun locked though in the front lines, so we'll move back here. Root going to help slow down this push as Domi gets caught for a moment. Here's the kick. They're just going to go straight for the core. Tempest, I don't know if they have enough to deal with this. 10 seconds until that gust is available. Not here now. Duck having to get the sanctification used already. There's just no way to stop this Dragon Knight anymore, G-Clef.
The entire focus is on Crazy Moving, but it doesn't even matter. Sniper with those auto attacks. Just burn down the core, and that's going to be game number 3. Going to MVP Miracle.
High fives all around as that was very well played. And Miracle now on